Welcome to the Backstage Vault, where we peel back the curtain to reveal the hidden gems and untold stories of the music world. Today, we're diving into the vibrant universe of indie labels, the unsung heroes that have shaped the landscape of music as we know it. Independent record labels, or indie labels as they're affectionately known, are the mavericks of the music industry. Operating outside the towering shadow of the major labels, these entities are more than just businesses. They are the breeding grounds for innovation, diversity, and the pure, unadulterated passion for music. Unlike their major counterparts, indie labels often thrive on the fringes, championing artists and genres that may not find a home in the mainstream. But what truly sets indie labels apart? It's their fierce independence, their commitment to artistic freedom, and a relentless pursuit of musical authenticity. Indie labels are not just about making music. They're about making a difference, offering a platform for voices that might otherwise go unheard. From punk to hip-hop, electronic to folk, indie labels have nurtured the growth of niche genres, pushing the boundaries of music and often, rewriting the rules. The importance of indie labels in the music industry cannot be overstated. They are the lifeblood of innovation, constantly discovering and developing new talent. These labels create a vibrant ecosystem where artists can experiment, evolve, and express themselves without the constraints often imposed by major labels. It's this environment that has given rise to some of the most influential and groundbreaking artists and bands in history, many of whom have gone on to redefine their genres. So, as we delve deeper into the stories of these independent powerhouses, remember, the music you love, the artists you follow, and the genres you can't get enough of, often have their roots in the creative soil of indie labels. Let's kick things off by winding the clock back to the mid-20th century, the era that witnessed the birth of indie labels. Picture this: a time when rock and roll was still a newborn and jazz was the king of cool. In this landscape, a few bold visionaries decided to step away from the cookie-cutter tunes of the big players and forge their own paths. Thus, the indie label was born, not out of a desire for commercial dominance, but from a burning passion for music that dared to be different. In the 1950s and 60s, these indie pioneers began to pop up like musical mushrooms after a rainstorm. Labels such as Sun Records and Motown Records, though initially small in stature, became giants through their groundbreaking work with artists who would become legends. Sun Records gave us the raw energy of Elvis Presley and Johnny Cash, while Motown Records laid the foundation for the likes of Marvin Gaye and the Supremes, crafting a sound that would define a generation. Fast forward to the 1970s and 80s, and the indie scene exploded with the punk and new wave movements. Labels like Rough Trade in the UK and Discog Records in the US became the standard bearers for a new era of music. Rough Trade helped launch the careers of the Smiths and the Strokes, proving that indie labels had the ear for what was next. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Indie labels faced and still face their fair share of struggles, from financial instability to distribution challenges. Yet, their resilience is nothing short of inspiring. In the face of adversity, indie labels have continually evolved, embracing the digital revolution of the 2000s to reach a global audience. They've become masters of adaptability, using social media, streaming services, and online marketing to level the playing field against the majors. One of the most defining moments in indie label history came with the rise of the internet. The digital age has democratized music production and distribution, allowing indie labels to bypass traditional barriers and connect directly with listeners worldwide. The influence of indie labels extends beyond the sounds they produce. They've challenged the music industry's norms, proving that success doesn't have to come at the expense of artistic integrity. They've democratized music, making it more accessible to artists and fans alike. And perhaps most importantly, they've shown that music can be a powerful change agent, reflecting and shaping the cultural zeitgeist. Let's zoom in on some trailblazing indie labels that have not just made waves but created tsunamis in the music industry. First up, Sub Pop, the Seattle-based label that became synonymous with grunge. Founded in the late 1980s by Bruce Pavitt and Jonathan Poneman, Sub Pop was the launchpad for Nirvana, Soundgarden, and Mudhoney, catapulting the grunge movement into global consciousness. With the release of Nirvana's Bleach, and Soundgarden's Superunknown, Sub Pop transformed from a local indie label into a cultural icon, proving that indie labels could achieve mainstream success without sacrificing their soul. Next, let's groove back to the 1960s with Motown Records, the Detroit powerhouse founded by Berry Gordy. In its early days, Motown was the epitome of an indie label, operating out of Gordy's house. Yet, it quickly became a music factory, churning out hits for legends like Stevie Wonder, The Temptations, and Diana Ross and the Supremes. Motown didn't just produce music. It crafted a sound that broke racial barriers and brought soul to the forefront of American music, making it a pivotal player in both the cultural and civil rights movements. Crossing the pond, Rough Trade Records has been a cornerstone of the UK music scene since its inception in 1978 by Jeff Travis. Born out of a record shop, Rough Trade nurtured the punk ethos and was instrumental in the careers of the Smiths, the Strokes, and Arcade Fire. With its commitment to artist autonomy and a DIY approach, Rough Trade has remained at the vanguard of indie music, championing a diverse roster that spans genres and generations. Last but not least, let's talk about Matador Records, the New York indie that's been flipping the script since 1989. Founded by Chris Lombardi and later joined by Gerard Cosloy, Matador became the home for indie rock luminaries like Pavement, Interpol, and Yo La Tengo. Known for its savvy A&R and artist-friendly ethos, Matador has navigated the changing tides of the music industry while staying true to its indie roots, proving that integrity and success can go hand in hand. These case studies are just the tip of the iceberg in illustrating how indie labels have reshaped the music landscape. By investing in the underdog and betting on the unconventional, Sub Pop, Motown, Rough Trade, and Matador have not only launched the careers of countless artists but also forever altered how we discover, consume, and connect with music. Each label, with its unique challenges and triumphs, tells a story of resilience, innovation, and an unwavering belief in the transformative power of music. As we catapult into the future, it's crystal clear that indie labels are not just surviving in the digital age. They're thriving, ready to ride the wave of streaming services, social media, and the ever-evolving habits of music consumption. Imagine a world where indie labels are the trendsetters, leveraging the digital landscape to foster a new era of artist development, audience engagement, and explosive growth. This is not just speculation, it's the dawn of a new chapter in the music industry, with indie labels at the helm. Streaming services, once seen as the behemoths that could overshadow the reach of indie labels, have become their playgrounds. These platforms offer a level playing field where a single track can catapult an unknown artist to global stardom overnight. Indie labels, with their agile nature and knack for innovation, are perfectly poised to harness the power of playlists, algorithm-driven recommendations, and the global reach of streaming to spotlight their artists like never before. Social media, the great connector of our times, has emerged as the megaphone for indie labels to amplify their voices. Through platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, indie labels can craft narratives that resonate with audiences worldwide, creating communities and fostering a sense of belonging around their artists. The future is bright, as these digital platforms enable indie labels to engage with fans in real time, turning listeners into loyal followers, and followers into fervent ambassadors. But the real game changer? The evolving music consumption habits of today's listeners. As fans crave authenticity, connection, and experiences that transcend the auditory, indie labels are uniquely positioned to deliver. They're not just selling music, they're curating experiences, whether through intimate live sessions, behind-the-scenes content, or interactive online events. The future sees indie labels not just as music purveyors but as lifestyle brands, weaving their artists and ethos into the fabric of their fans' lives. New opportunities for growth abound. Think global collaborations, where indie labels from different corners of the world unite to cross-pollinate their music and cultures. Envision the rise of artist development programs, where indie labels become incubators for talent, nurturing the next generation of artists with a focus on longevity over instant hits. Picture the expansion into new realms, virtual concerts in digital universes, exclusive releases in emerging formats, and partnerships that bridge music with tech, fashion, and beyond. In this future, audience engagement transcends traditional metrics. Indie labels are set to pioneer innovative ways to measure impact, moving beyond streams and downloads to gauge emotional connections, community strength, and the ripple effects of their music in society. The goal? To create a world where success is measured not just by chart positions but by the depth of the relationships forged between artists and fans. And there you have it, folks. A glimpse into the future of indie labels and their unstoppable march towards shaping the next frontier of music. As we wrap up this electrifying journey through the heart and soul of indie music, we want to extend a massive thank you for tuning in and rocking out with us here at the Backstage Vault. Remember, music is not just what we listen to, it's what we live for. So keep exploring, keep supporting those indie gems, and keep the spirit of music alive and kicking. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more music magic, and share this video with fellow music enthusiasts. Your support means the world to us and to the artists and labels that keep the music playing. Until next time, keep your playlists adventurous, your vinyl spinning, and your hearts open to the boundless possibilities of music. Goodbye, and thanks for being a part of our musical journey.